The Crimson Nexus was not a place for the faint-hearted. Tucked into the bowels of Station Epsilon 7, the bar catered to veterans of the Galactic War's warriors who had seen stars burn and civilizations fall. Its walls were scarred with plasma burns, and the air reeked of exotic alcohols that could melt human tissue. Yet Mira Hale walked through it every night with a tray balanced on one hand and a smile that never quite reached her eyes. She was the only human on staff, the only human most patrons had seen in years. Tonight, the bar buzzed with an unusual tension. A delegation of Drakari, the ancient dragonkin who had ruled the skies of 1,000 worlds, had arrived. Their scales gleamed like polished obsidian under the dim lights, and their wings, folded tight against their massive frames, scraped the ceiling. Conversations died as they entered. Even the most battle-hardened Krill mercenaries straightened in their seats. At the center of the group strode General Thrykos, a legend carved in scales and scars. His reputation preceded him. The breaker of fleets, the last guardian of Pyraxis Prime. His chest bore a tattoo that every soldier in the galaxy recognized: the Crimson Spiral, the mark of the Unbroken Legion. It was said only those who had survived the siege of the Black Sun could wear it. Mira delivered drinks to a table of Rexian traders, her movements efficient and practiced. She'd learned long ago not to stare, not to ask questions. Curiosity got humans killed out here, but as she passed the Drakari table, something stopped her. The tattoo. It was impossible to miss, etched across General Thrykos's scaled chest in vivid crimson ink. The spiral seemed to pulse with its own light. But what froze Mira in place wasn't the tattoo itself. It was the familiarity of it. She'd seen it before, not in a history file or a war documentary. She'd seen it on her mother's shoulder, faded and scarred, hidden beneath civilian clothes and decades of silence. The words left her mouth before she could stop them. "My mom has your tattoo." The entire bar fell silent. General Thrykos's head turned slowly, his amber eyes locking onto her. The temperature seemed to drop 10 degrees. The other dragons shifted, their claws clicking against the metal floor. One of them, a younger warrior with silver-tipped horns, hissed something in their native tongue. "What did you say, human?" Thrykos's voice was a low rumble, like distant thunder. Mira's heart hammered in her chest, but she'd already committed. There was no taking it back now. She straightened, meeting his gaze despite every instinct screaming at her to run. "My mother," she repeated, her voice steadier than she felt. "She has that same tattoo, the Crimson Spiral." The general rose slowly, his immense form towering over her. The other dragons followed suit, their wings unfurling slightly in what could have been either a threat display or shock. Thrykos stepped closer, each footfall reverberating through the floor. "Your mother," he said carefully, "is human." Yes, humans did not fight in the siege of the Black Sunday. Humans were not part of the Unbroken Legion. Your kind had barely left your own solar system when that war was fought. "I know," Mira said. She never explained it. She never talked about the war at all. "But I saw it. The tattoo. I mean, when I was a kid. Before she stopped letting anyone see." Thrykos was so close now, she could feel the heat radiating from his scales, could smell the smoke that seemed to cling to all Drakari. His eyes searched her face with an intensity that made her want to look away. "What is your mother's name?" "Sarah Hale, formerly Sarah Chen, before she married my father." The name hung in the air like a detonation. One of the other dragons made a sound that might have been a gasp if dragons could gasp. Thrykos went completely still, his expression unreadable. "Chen," he repeated. "The medic." Mira blinked. She was a nurse. On Earth, she was no nurse. Thrykos interrupted, his voice thick with something Mira couldn't identify. "She was a combat medic, who found us drifting in dead space after the Pyraxis evacuation. Our ship was destroyed. We were dying of radiation poisoning. 13 of us crammed into an escape pod built for 6. She was on a human research vessel barely armed, barely shielded. Her captain ordered her to leave us, said we were already dead." He paused, and when he continued, his voice had softened into something almost reverent. "She refused. She brought us aboard, treated us with medicines not designed for our biology, sat with us for 47 hours straight as we burned with fever. 3 of us died anyway. But 10 survived because of her. We gave her the mark of the Unbroken Legion because she earned it, because she was one of us. The bar remained silent. Mira felt tears prickling at her eyes, but refused to let them fall. She never told me, she whispered. She never said anything. The siege broke many warriors, Thrykos said quietly. Perhaps it broke her differently. But know this, child of Sarah Chen, your mother is a hero to the Drakari. When word spread of what she'd done, 3 clans swore blood oaths to protect her line. That oath extends to you. He reached up and traced the tattoo on his chest, then looked at Mira with something that might have been respect. Tell her that Thrykos remembers. Tell her that we all remember. Mira nodded, not trusting her voice. The general returned to his seat, and gradually, the bar resumed its usual chaos. But as Mira returned to her work, she felt different, lighter, somehow. That night, she called her mother for the first time in months. And when the line connected, the first thing she said was, "Mom, I met a dragon today who knows you." The long silence that followed told her everything.